Welcome back to another episode of Twisted Metal Companion. I'm Peter, and over there, back from space, is Tyler point oh, point two. It doesn't work with your name, Tyler. How you doing?
Yeah, good, good. Peter point oh.
Yeah, yeah, it's 2.0 works because it almost like 2.0, so it rolls off the tongue better. But we'll get there. So you guys, we are here. The final drop has happened. We got the final three episodes just a few days ago at the time of this recording. Episodes 10 through 12. We got Mayhem, um, Oh Holy Night, right? And also New Year's. I think those are all correct. So we are also going to be doing a Instagram live along with this live commentary. So we might get some, comments, Easter eggs or whatnot from the people on Instagram. Maybe we'll have somebody from the show, pop in with like a fun fact or something. Who knows? It's three episodes. I expect this particular episode to go maybe 2 hours. With our little talks in between, our little games at the end of each episode. Um, no news yet, but what's also amazing is a lot of people are finding the Instagram account. Been getting some. I call them randos only because like I haven't really communicated with them, but I've had at least a couple people reach out and just like, hey, love what you guys are doing on the pod here, or love the podcast. Having really nice things to say. So if we've been getting new followers and people just yeah, new findings from the interviews and also the drops. I'm having friends start the show now that all the episodes are out. Tyler, are you talking to anybody at all about the show?
Mainly my yeah, some friends, still trying to find time to get them to sit down and watch, but uh yeah, the Devon Sawa reveal in the last couple episodes was I think the biggest push.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've even told some people I go, look, out of context, just watch the prom episode. Like that's fine. And then if you enjoy that, then watch the show. But you'll have a good time. So
I think the thing,
yeah.
yeah, that I always hear is, like, oh, well, I didn't really play the games or I don't really know much about the games. And, it's always just like, you don't need to, especially
Right.
going in from the beginning, like you're not going to be lost, by not being familiar with the games.
Right. They do a really good job at kind of balancing the stuff that they come up with themselves versus the stuff inspired by the games. We're going to get into a good chunk of that stuff. I didn't pull up a lot of like references, like for example Minion. I didn't pull up the backstory on it, but maybe that's something I'll pull up while we're kind of watching and commentating because there is going to be a lot of action. And so there's probably going to be a lot more dead air than we've had in the previous episodes. Even that last one, because it was like the prom episode, I think there were a lot of times we're just watching them like dance and stuff. And so,
Hmm.
also, if you guys like edits, I just released a Friends inspired Twisted Metal intro using, the Friends graphics in the beginning, the Rembrandt song, and just cutting up a bunch of clips from the prom episode specifically, but also like a lot of behind the scenes stuff from some of the cast and crew, some of the stuff released on Peacock, and been getting a lot of like really great compliments and comments on it thus far. But yeah, check that out. That's something you guys are into. But yeah, it's a whole vibe for sure. Tyler, it's sitting fresh at 92%. It did go up a percentage in the last few weeks. And the audio score is still relatively positive. How do you feel about the season two ending or the last three drops, I guess?
Yeah, definitely go some places I wasn't expecting, and made good on some promises made long ago in the
Yeah.
first season. Yeah, it's uh, man, what a ride. Definitely hoping for a season three.
Yeah, we are definitely waiting for an announcement. No rumblings yet, but it's been a relatively successful season, I feel. So hopefully something comes soon. So for those that are tuning in at home at this point, we're about to go live on Instagram, and then you guys won't even really notice us gone, but there's going to be a bit of a break on our end while we get that. Okay,
Ready.
so here we go. Episode 10, season 2. I think I read all the information um before before I went dark just a bit ago. You know what? I'll just do it over. Okay, so episode 10, this was directed by Bertie Elwood and written by Sean Diston and Kirsten Jacob. Kirsten Razazadeh Jacob. And Peacock has it described as John and Quiet face an unexpected challenge. Calypso holds an investigation that uncovers secrets. All right, so if you guys are all ready, I'm queued up at the 00, 00. Okay. Are you all ready?
Ready.
All right, so we're all gonna press play on go. I'm gonna count down. Three, two, one, go. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, all right. So the peacock uh just just went off here. Let's see. All right, so we got the previously on. I gotta load down the volume. So all right, in this the last on Twisted Metal, they're reminding us Quattro was the car. John and Quiet wanted to undo their wish. And shout outs to Frankie over in Australia. She posted something recently about how Calypso allowed John and Quiet to take a drink out of that well after, well, we're going to find out that Sweet Tooth had pissed in it.
Oh yeah.
Because Stu and Sweet Tooth went first, from what we see in episode 7. Yeah, is it 7 or 6? Maybe it was episode 6. And then we're gonna find out in one of these episodes in a flashback that yep, Sweet Tooth had just pulled up his pants and yeah, took a leak in it.
Maybe that was the real punishment. You know,
That could
it
be
didn't
it.
really have anything to do with magic or anything. It was just you had to drink some piss.
That's it. And that's why he said it that way too. He's just like, let's see if they taste anything. All right, so yeah, we're waking up both in Roadkill, we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
Oh, I think
a
you're
carbon
coming in.
copy. Oh, with the TV audio?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you're coming out of my phone a little bit too. But my microphone doesn't pick it up. Yeah, you have the Yeti. That's why yours is very sensitive. All right, so Raven gets who does Raven get? John?
Does Raven get John?
We just missed it. But Axel's gonna get Quiet. Mayhem
Quiet,
gets
yeah.
Raven. John gets Axel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And then yeah, of course, Quiet gets Mayhem.
Right. Yeah. And so I thought this was interesting too because I was trying to decipher like the previous next on Twisted Metal and I couldn't figure out like wait a minute there's 6 drivers that means there's some that died in between or whatever but basically we're going to find out that the ones that were involved in a killing is going to be part of like a courtroom drama and then the remaining people have it. I don't know if you call it advanced but there's some sort of like bonus round where they are pitted against each other. I like how Quiet was like, "Fuck these heels."
Oh yeah.
And okay, so what did you think about when you saw like the 2 roadkills? I mean, I don't know if there's really any explaining needed because they made 2 wishes and it's like they were in the same car, but in order for them to be contestants, they have to split them and then put
Hmm.
it in roadkill. But did you have any other theories like what the hell any of it meant?
No, I mean, I was kind of thinking like, because they made 2 wishes, but you get 1 wish per car, like, that being kind of a moment where like it like split or something.
Okay.
Like had they not done the two wishes, maybe they would have just been, in the one together. Because
Right.
well, I guess I was gonna say Mike, uh, isn't in
Right.
this race.
Now,
But yeah, like would they have had two of Sweet Tooth's, vans like
right,
drive
right.
around and stew on his own?
That'll be really interesting to see. Um, you got to give credit to us because when we broke down the season two trailer, we did notice that somebody that was dancing in the prom episode, somebody with like kind of a curly crimped hair, is the one that would end up on John's windshield. We didn't know it was Vermin, but we did guess that correctly.
Hmm.
I think you might have even pointed it out. It's like, oh, hey, I think it's this, it's the the woman from the 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 dance sequence.
Yeah. Which, yeah, at the time I just assumed was going to be like a throwaway, uh
Race.
minion, not,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
actual minion, but like,
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
like
Um, I even considered that maybe, like John or Quiet One, then it's like, all right, what's your wish? Like, did you guys change it? Whatever. And maybe there was something like, I wish to go back before this happened kind of thing. And I thought that there might have been time traveling involved. That's why there was two roadkills. Like they went back like 1 minute or whatever it is. And when
hmm
they got to that one level, that's why there's two of those vehicles. But that didn't explain why one of them was in each one. Like there's only
yeah.
one pair. So, but I was like, what is going on? And the colors, it just made me think of like the lightning and Back to the Future. So I thought this was interesting too. So
Yeah, matching up the teeth to the ass bite. Not sure how scientific that is, since you can't see it when they put his face there, but
right.
Calypso knows.
And for the little bit of the behind the scenes that I've been kind of seeing as of late, it does appear. I think that was still actually Dave. Like it wasn't like a like a
Oh,
butt
like a
double
double.
or prosthetic. Yeah. I think. I mean, he was definitely there at the in the sequence when they were filming it. So I don't know. But I did it looked all real, like how it jiggled real quick too, just to reveal like the big old bite mark on the ass.
I mean, I guess, it's probably a easy day, filming. You just have to lie there.
Show your ass a little. So so Vermin's gonna be the first one, I believe, killed, and her death has no relation to what we found out her actual wish was, unless that actually wasn't her wish,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? Because she's gonna die here.
Yeah, and that's,
Or
yeah. Well, I guess, she was her wish was, what for the eradication of, humankind, right? So the rats can rise up. She's one of them, I guess, so as long as she
yeah.
dies, that kind of fulfills it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they are in this sequence here. I mean, this set, just for this very specific thing. I guess it's kind of a cooler use rather than finding like another classroom inside the school to be like the courtroom. This works.
Yeah. Yeah, the school didn't have a debate club or anything. Uh,
Yeah. There might have been. I'd have to go back and look at the room assignments because I feel it might have been mentioned on that. I like this little frame right here of Calypso kind of like faded in the dark holding that little thing. It kind of reminded me of like there's like a promotional image of the Dark Knight where it had like the Joker holding like some cards almost in like a
Mm,
similar fashion. But also I was trying to bring up the scene just how like I don't know. I guess I don't know as much as I there might be more to Calypso than I thought, but he's not as like kind of like almighty as I thought he was. He's almost like more everyday person just with abilities. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Like I thought he's more like it's kind of like how
yeah.
I felt when we get Patty as Raven and when she becomes like one of the competitors, one of the drivers, right? Where you're like, well, she was supposed to be like the ruler of like New San Francisco. Like I didn't really feel that like once she became a contender. And now like the more we see of Calypso, I'm like, I don't know. He's doing some things where I'm like, you, Mayhem shouldn't be able to sneak into your, this kind of
Hmm.
thing that's going to happen later on. So we'll get
Yeah.
to those like
It
kind of
definitely is less of like a god, God
right.
walking on Earth, and yeah, it was more like a wizard or someone who just
Yeah,
has like some grasp of like magical abilities. Though,
right.
and then I think it's the beginning of the next episode, like the way they set up, Calypso there, is kind of goes the other way, where I'm like, oh, this is like any, eternal god like being, but.
Yeah. So we missed a few things here. Oh, Raven's going after Vermin. That's what it was. And I
Mm,
guess she's got like lightning powers or she's summoning electricity and is able
yeah,
to shoot with it.
yeah,
Damn. Yeah.
harness the lightning and yeah, well, yeah, Death Ray.
And the design is almost similar to the DeLorean, right? Like they have that little thing that
Hmm.
harnesses 1.21 gigawatts and they just need the electricity. Oh, poor Vermin and she looks like a real bug too, like on the windshield too. Pretty
Hmm.
crazy. Ugh.
Yeah, the
We
the the streak there as he's
Yeah,
trying to like windshield wiper it.
right. Um, do we miss the part where Axel kind of texts Mayhem? Or that's coming up. So I thought that they were gonna give us more of that connection between Axel and Mayhem, with Mayhem being
Hmm.
like that baby.
Same,
But
yeah,
yeah, so after watching this episode, it was more of they're just gonna pay off him, kind of giving up his life for her survival, right? So that
yeah.
was more of that.
Which yeah, they kind of just like they seal it that yes, they were connected that that was the baby he thought that it was without explicitly doing it. It's just the show shows him sacrificing. So like it would be cruel at this point to then be like, oh, never mind. Actually, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
So what I do like is they have set things up, and then when they are revealed, they leave it up to the audience members. It's like, not necessarily for your interpretation per se, but if you have a question, be like, well, the answer is there if you're looking for it, kind of thing, right? So it's like, well, was it that baby? Well, I think so because we never really go back to it, at any point after he's like, hey, where'd you get that? She's like, I've had that since I was a baby, and that's it. Like that's enough, right?
Yeah.
And so like they don't need to like overstate it. Did you have any issues with Mr. Grimm here being on trial for the torching of Harold?
I mean, no issues. It's he's being fair, and I think it adds some, validity to Sweet Tooth, it's not just a paper bag. Like there is there is something else to it there.
Okay. We're not dismissing Harold as a paper bag. Like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
death is death. It doesn't matter what it was. I do, yeah, I do like all of this. Um, I I jokingly took that as a shout out, freaky little companion. Like I screen captured that and said, "Thank you, Calypso." I also like this part. Like it's kind of that thing with Quiet and Mayhem when they first saw Mr. Grimm.
Were you uh were you surprised at all when Quiet drew Mayhem?
Not surprised, but I did not guess that. The characters are leads. They got to be put in some, difficult situations at this point. So I knew it couldn't have been easy. The fun part is like seeing her get out of out of that predicament.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
when I was, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah. I figured it was gonna be either John or Quiet gets John or Quiet gets Mayhem.
I did think we were gonna get a death of one of the two. Like I almost thought that maybe we were gonna lose John.
Yeah, I was
Um,
bracing for it these three episodes.
yeah. I also thought Mayhem was definitely a possibility of being a casualty in this episode because it's titled Mayhem. But I mean, technically, I mean she's eliminated, right? And so
Hmm.
she could have died from Raven, but then Axel sacrifices himself. And this is just a beautiful sequence here. Slow-mo, you got the lightnings coming down, Bjork playing. Not my cup of tea. I know she's an acquired taste.
I'm more of a fan of her acting career.
What has she done?
Can't think of the movie. Um,
When was
but
it recently or?
no, I want to say like the 90s or 2000s. Yeah, I'd love to see what the set was like shooting this, like how much of like the sparks and stuff, if it's all CG, because obviously there's on a sound stage with green screen and stuff, but like how
Oh,
much was there, how much
I'll
was
send you some posts. So this is
okay.
actually on the street. Oh yeah, this was on the street,
Oh,
and
okay. Oh
I
wow.
think they actually had drones flying for some of the shots, and I actually reshared it, and I said, "Twisted Metal Skynet Rises," because like the drones made it look like Skynet, like some of the coloring that was going on, you know. So I think the sparks, like and all of that are real, but it's the lightning that's added in afterwards. But yeah, it looked really, really cool. Yeah, yeah. Raven with the specials. I do wonder if that's one of hers at all. D- Did you do you think this is the last of Axel?
Um, I mean, I hope not, but with the show, like I could see a lot of these people coming back,
Yeah,
different
me too.
iterations.
And and I think it's how like he is dying, right? Like
Hmm.
he wasn't just like he didn't explode, didn't crash or anything really.
Yeah.
He his heart stopped, presumably. He
Yeah.
could probably be revived. I mean, look at him. He's just rolling out like he's exiting off screen.
Yeah, and like we'll get to it in I think it's in the last episode. where we'll see like Calypso, not realizing that contestants are still, in play when they actually
Right.
are. And so yeah, like there's no reason May or Axel couldn't come back as Mecha Axel or
Right. Yeah.
something.
Wearing shorts this time,
Honestly,
right? Or jean shorts, I think is the next look
yeah.
for him.
Yeah, there's actually a
So
moment later where I thought Axel was coming back in one of the later episodes.
okay, yeah, definitely tell me when that happens. Now we're getting a sequence of Mayhem when she made her wish that I skipped over, and she just wanted to find somewhere to belong, right? That's what she said.
Hmm.
So if we're putting the pieces together, she was taken by vultures, possibly living with them for some time, and then at some point escaped and learned, how to pickpocket, how to break into cars, never learned how to read or drive, but
Got married, got
we
divorced.
yeah, did that too. Yep. What a great character though. I gotta say,
Hmm.
she's Sailor really killed it as Mayhem this season. First season, obviously. So they're back at the school. Mayhem is rehabbing. So they're trying to tell her that she's done, but she wants to ride with them. Um, but yeah, I'm not. That's a tough situation, but I'm with them. You've been eliminated. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of you riding along? You could potentially die.
Yeah.
But what fun is that to have like a scene stealing original character that has to sit out for the remaining 2.5 episodes, you know? So we kind of seen like the arc of this the S brothers, right? So episode 4, we
Hmm.
saw that Stu was more of a parental figure to Sweet Tooth, allocating him rations for buying like weapons and artillery and stuff like that. Now, Sweet Tooth is the pop, seeing his son off to prom, catching him sneaking off to go do drugs, and now they're splitting up because Stu wants to go with Mike. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool thing that they decided to do too, to have Mike not return until episode 5. He's got a new bestie, loses him, and then him and Stu still end up together as a pairing
And
as
I do
the
wonder
second Hammerhead guys.
what at what point Stu put together that like, oh, Harold comparing Mike to Harold is my way. It's my way out of this alive.
Right. And and maybe Stu would not have really seen it that way if had not been for the trial just previously, right? Like maybe he had
Hmm.
to really understand, where Sweet Tooth and Stu really was, and not just like how we were talking. Maybe he thought that Sweet Tooth was a little crazy up there, to think that Harold was a real person, and now Calypso treated him as such, and I think maybe Stu sees it then.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
uh, a bad move on Calypso's part. If you can teleport places like we've seen him able to do, why are you walking around? Like, why are you leading people down to your secret lair?
Perhaps fans of uh, Real Genius, 1985, right? Val Kilmer, Gabriel Jarrett, where you have the kind of like former student that like hides in, I don't know, in the tunnels or whatever,
Hmm.
through a bedroom closet. So maybe it's just a little nod to that. So yeah, for those that are popping in and out Instagram, we are still watching episode 10. If you guys want a bit of a timestamp, we're at almost at 24 minutes. Raven's talking to John right now. So yeah, Quiet poses a good question to Ravens. Like, yeah, if you bring back Kelly, is she even gonna recognize you?
So yeah, dying when you're a teenager and then coming back into this world and your best friend is this person would be extremely jarring.
Yeah. The never mind the age difference.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, you know. I mean, 18, whatever. They were the lovers, right? But now you're talking about a gosh, what 22 year, about 20 years. What the fall was 2002, 1998. I'm not trying to do the math right now live, but basically it's like she'd be like the age of a daughter, if you had a daughter.
So yeah, when I saw this, uh, I thought maybe this was this was Axel, you know,
Oh,
coming
okay.
back. Like he's kind of already set up to be kind of like part machine in some way, and so like Calypso is just kind of like looking for his ideal candidate for his secret weapon.
Yeah, I still had no idea what it was. I did not think Minion for sure. I did wonder at some point, I don't know if we discussed this last week, but the idea of Mayhem being Quattro, right? Like I
Oh yeah.
think I theorized that, yeah, maybe this episode is how Mayhem because she dies, and maybe she comes back as Quattro. So that didn't happen either.
So
This
yeah,
is that,
season three, John and Quiet driving around with a wisecracking mayhem car.
right? The uh the good old movie trope of yeah, kind of overhearing, eavesdropping a conversation about you, and you're not getting the full context, but just enough
Yeah.
to piss her off and want to leave. See, so what's preventing you from just leaving the building? But she's eliminated, so I guess nothing,
Yeah.
right? So maybe if she tries to leave and not come back, maybe she gets penalized. Not sure. All right, so that was episode 10. And I did not pull out, or I have not been paying attention. I've not been paying attention to the games,
Oh.
just because a lot was going on and we are talking, but we can freestyle it. Okay, so episode 10, initial thoughts after watching that again.
Yeah, it's definitely, the most like action I think we've I just not, not the whole season we've been getting, on and off like action beats. But this one we're really kind of like pitting the specific drivers against each other and, really getting uh, a higher body count, Near
Right.
the end, we have to kind of start eliminating them. But yeah, it's such a cool like set piece, like driving around and just the like in the haze with the lightning and everything. It was so cool.
Yeah, I think one of the most exciting imagery when before the episode came out, and I was just watching the teaser, and those are cut in a way where you'll literally just get like a couple frames of something, and so watching it without pausing, you're gonna miss so much. It's literally like there's moments where you blink and you miss, and for example, like when Axel's coming towards Quiet, like there's a frame that they used of him just right outside her window, and it's super blurred because she's just hitting like that force field or whatever that's preventing her from escaping. And so I saw that, I was like, oh, that's crazy. What's that about? But seeing it in the episode, on a bigger screen, obviously, that was really really cool to see. But also the images of the two roadkills, depending on the vantage point, I really like seeing it from behind. Um, almost just it kind of reminds me of like seeing the DeLorean in the race of Ready Player One. It's chaotic. There's all these moving parts. There's a lot of like vehicles to look at, and so that's kind of what it reminded me of. So it's really exciting for sure. No big reveals yet, except for the mayhem following Calypso. So that's the other thing. Like, you have ways to go to like enter a portal and end up where you see the well, right? The wishing well. That's also where you're
Hmm.
gonna have your courtroom drama. But why couldn't there be a Calypso only room of what we're gonna find out is Minion? So I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know how else you do that, but you're gonna need Mayhem to be able to help out John and Quiet, right? So like she has to f find it somehow. But
Yeah.
just the fact that she was like laying there and happened to see him walking down the hall, also like I don't know. It definitely it changed my perspective on Calypso a little bit for sure. Just kind of like what you're saying. I was I the Calypso is mysterious to me. I'm not like a gamer of the Twisted Metal games, and so like yeah, I thought he was godlike. But to watch these final episodes, I'm like, I don't know if I'll buy these. At least it's not like necessarily buying them. It's just like I'm still trying to figure him out, I guess.
Yeah, the beginning of the next episode will really see his limitations, what he cannot
Right.
get done.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Let's go to Marcus. That's your line. What is your best line of the episode?
I'm gonna go with during the courtroom drama plot of the episode, Stu recalling walking in on Dave and saying uh, I thought he was essing his own D, but it wasn't a D, it was an L. He was eating Frostbite's leg.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I was going to use for the best use of a swear word. More so because it was censored, and so I don't
Yeah.
know if like Stu was like redacting his own words. Um, yeah, I don't know. So I thought that was pretty funny. What I had was same scene, but it was from Mike. I don't know what's happening. It was more of his delivery, and so like from their point of view, basically like Calypso's like holding out his hand and Grimm's just like mouth is like open and no special effects. So everybody's just like, what? So I really like that. Best character of the episode?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Calypso for the same that same plot of just him acting as this judge here trying to like suss out the information of what actually happened. Yeah, great Anthony Carrigan.
Yes, he's been amazing all season. For me, best character, I'm going to give it to Axel for sacrificing himself for Mayhem. So really like that there. What about best costume?
Hmm. I guess I'm gonna give Stu his props for the purple tux.
Okay. I don't know if we've ever used Calypso. I'll give it to him. And shout out to Anthony Kerrigan for comparing him to a Tommy Wiseau, you know, with the vest and all that stuff. Best death.
Axel. The only not many self-sacrifices or like altruistic deaths. So yeah,
That was
I'll
that,
give it to him.
that was a good one. And luckily we have another one which we talked about during the episode was Vermin. Also like the
Mhm.
bug wipe was amazing. Was amazing. How about was not on my Twisted Metal bingo card? What was surprising you or whatever on this episode? Something you didn't expect.
Oh, I mean it keeps coming back, but yeah, just the sort of courtroom drama of Sweet Tooth and Grim and uh, Stu and Mike. Just yeah, the I wouldn't have expected to get something like that, especially from the buildup of the cliffhanger of last episode, where it's like, oh, we're going to see everyone kind of pitted against each other after prom, and instead these these few lucked out by kind of breaking the rules. Like some of them would have been eliminated otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, Mike got shot, right? Didn't or did he get stabbed?
Or got
What
stabbed.
did
Yeah, he got
he got
stabbed.
stabbed by Cliff? So, I guess I'd take that than dying. But I kind of like I do kind of like the that bonus round where they're kind of playing Clue. You know, it's just like, oh, I open up an envelope, like, damn, I got to kill Raven. You know, so th that was kind of fun. But I think I think it could be a bigger moment, but just the idea of having two road kills, that was pretty cool. So I think I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna go to the courtroom drama. Did not expect that. Yeah, didn't have that on my bingo card. Pop culture reference.
Hmm.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure what I have in mind is in this episode, but we were talking, so I didn't see it. You'll have to refresh my memory.
yeah, I do not, I don't have anything off the
Okay.
top of my head.
If I'm not mistaken, in this episode, Mayhem pulls out something like a cartridge and blows into it, right? In Quattro, it's back in.
Okay.
Was that this episode? Do you know, did you catch
Uh,
that at
I,
all?
I didn't catch that. No.
Okay, I'm pretty sure because I didn't see it. This is only the second time I'm watching it. I remember seeing it the first time. Don't remember the episode, but I'm almost certain it was while she was in Quattro. And so like I wanted to clip that out and share on social media. Basically, that I think that's the biggest like, hey, tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are. You know, like definitely a 90s baby. So that probably went over a lot of people's head if they saw that, didn't understand the reference, but definitely if you know, you know. Yeah. Except for Twisted Metal was never on a cartridge, right? That's just definitely
Right.
for like the pre-PlayStation gamers, the GameCube and such. Um Okay, and best use of a swear word. I had kind of revealed mine, the censored, he was S'ing his own D.
Yeah, I have the Sweet Tooths. After everything's said and done with between them and Grimm, the now it's just you and me, fucko.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I don't hear that often enough, and I've brought this up before, but I've been called fucko by a former coworker. I thought that was funny when that came up. It just took me back to that because I was like, only one other person's ever called me that. All right, so we're gonna go to episode 11 of season two. This one is called Oh Holy Night, and Peacock has it described as John and Quiet prepare for the high stakes final round of Calypso's tournament. So hopefully those that are tuning in at home are all queued up. I'm gonna pause it real quick because I know, yep, it's already 20 minutes into the episode. So I'm gonna pause it right there. Um, This episode was directed by Bill Benz and written by Grant DeCurnian, who previously wrote episode four at Diesel City. That one was called Let's Get Busy, I believe. Okay, Tyler, you all ready?
Already.
Already. Okay, so we're gonna press play on go. I'm gonna count down from three, two, one, go. And this is the longest episode of these final three. Even going into this episode now, I was just like, what the hell is gonna happen? I had no idea. All right, so okay, so Mayhem was caught, right? So we just talked about this in the last commentary
Hmm.
that oh she's just gonna leave the compound. I forgot that does get brought back in to Calypso by the people that's do they get paid? I'm assuming so, right?
I would hope so. I mean,
Yeah,
if not in actual money,
right.
shelter,
Eh,
food,
right,
weapons,
right. The basics there.
liquid cocaine.
Yeah. You know what? It's the post-apocalypse. I don't liquid powder, whatever. Gummies, if they're doing that, then I don't know. And I don't know if it's the set or whatever, but it gave me almost like a Wild Wild West feel. And maybe because like Calypso's wearing like that vest also kind of, made me think of like the costumes of the 1999 film.
Hmm.
At any point, did you think we were gonna find out that they were related? Mayhem and Calypso.
Oh, no.
I believe that was a theory I came across that Mayhem was Calypso's daughter because I think it's because she was driving Shrapnel, which was Dollface's buggy, and people were also thinking she was Grasshopper, and I don't know if that was also Krista Sparks. There's too much going on, and there's no, even if I knew all the lore of the video games, the show is going to make it just a little bit different. So it's really like,
Yeah.
how do they want to use it? But I had a lot
Well,
of
and
like,
the nature of the games too, having like the same character multiple times, given like multiple backstories, depending on which
right.
which game it is and stuff. Yeah.
That's true because like they're taking a lot of the physical looks of the characters from Twist Metal Black, but some of the storylines and stuff they are drawing from other games. Even like some of the
Hmm.
vehicles, for example. Hammerhead, yes, originally a monster truck that was driven by Mike and Dave in the first game, but they weren't introduced until season two. That pairing, Mike and Stu came in season or Twisted Metal 2, the video game, but was introduced in the first season,
Hmm.
and we're back together again, driving Hammerhead as the second iteration, following Mike. And so it's almost kind of like that Back to the Future 2 thing where they're not necessarily going back and fixing things, but they kind of course corrected in a sense to to the game's timeline. I don't know if I just made anybody cross-eyed, but do love this little ongoing rivalry between Grim and Sweet Tooth because we are working towards uh a um a fight together against each other there.
Why is
Who
no one
was
talking
Quiet
about
talking about?
this?
What's that?
The the sex is better in a bed.
Oh, well, because if you had never done it in bed, you would never have known otherwise. Um, to John probably just thought that that's the only place to do it is in like ball pits and in a car.
Yeah.
So a little bit of downtime for John and Quiet here, resting up. No idea that Mayhem is gone. Did they? Did I miss if they brought her up at all? Wondering where she is.
Not yet. They're just uh yeah, just talking about, you know, uh which one of them will make it, if both of them will make it.
Right. And I just wanted to point out that the teaser, because I screenshotted like 12 to 14 images, and I did disclaimer that hey, if you swipe through, there might be spoilers, but it's all out of context, and I made sure that they were in no particular order. Even if I put them in order by the order of the teaser, that doesn't mean it's in chronological order of the episode. Um, but I did notice that when Calypso says, "Welcome to the final round," I saw Mayhem tucked away, like at the bottom of the frame. So,
Mm.
so I knew that going into the final three episodes, I was like, "What's Mayhem doing with Calypso?" So, Raven here is pulling out a couple of the cards. So yeah, she's looking at an old picture of young Raven and young Kelly, probably from that last night, I guess, over at Destiny's house. But I do wonder why does she still have like that one card there?
Uh yeah. Was that the one
I
that
think
like
that
she
was
pulled for was Destiny or whatever?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So
okay.
so that goes back to the first episode in that flashback. Because I was just wondering, maybe she was holding on to it because she felt like that didn't come true for her yet and didn't know what it was. I'm not sure. Um, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be getting it here or in the next episode more. Maybe I think it is this episode because I think this is Raven's exit. Um, I kind of miss what's going on here between Mike and Stu. Is it Dave?
They're
Just threw Dave.
yeah. Yeah, they're doing the memorial funeral for Dave, which is throwing all of his shit out the window.
Well, I mean, not only that, but Mike is the one who's like, I can't do it, and he's the one who's like grieving over the loss of his bestie. And Stu's just like,
Hmm.
shit, say less. Here, boom.
Yeah,
Was basically the
I'm gonna
vibe.
act. I'm
It was
gonna
pretty
act
good.
really distraught.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Skywalker in wow, which one was it where he just tosses like the lightsaber?
The Last Jedi.
Right, like it's supposed to be like this bigger moment, like, oh, here's the lightsaber. It's like, oh, he just chucks it. Stu's just like, no, I'm good. Like, fuck this guy. Trying to, trying to eat me. He licked my foot. Yeah, I really liked this moment. I was just like, oh, that's what they're doing. So we got them back together. Obviously, we already heard at the end of the last episode that Stu decided that he was gonna ride with Mike. But also call back to season one when they did that little
Hmm.
handshake, which we found out from director Jude Wang. She told us either she told us or maybe Taj told us, but somebody told us that they were told to come up with like a handshake, and we don't know if when and where it would be used, but that's the one. Rochambeau, I really thought that somebody was getting kicked. So this
Oh
is
yeah,
more, yeah, this is just paper, rock, scissors with like different, you know, different things here.
yeah. Rochambeau was very different when I was a kid than what
Slave.
I think it's commonly known as.
Did we all learn that from South Park?
I believe so.
Okay. And I loved also seeing that out of context, the putting a bag over the head, because I was like, oh no, what's going on here? So everybody, oh, okay, so everyone got a bag over the head. Do you think it's so that way they don't see like the crowd as they're being brought in? They're just going to be revealed, right?
Yeah, I took it as just so they don't know where they're going, you know, uh they get surprised by the audience.
Right, definitely like a gladiator arena feel. I really
Hmm.
love the look of it, and not something I caught watching the final three episodes. I only saw it because of a behind the scenes photo from I think Patty Guggenheim that shared it. But there's flags of the characters like around the
Hmm.
arena. Did you catch that
Yeah,
before? Like player flags?
no.
Yeah. So if you start looking around, you'll kind of notice them, but there's like a banner with like Stu and Mike and one with Raven and Calypso. Oh, not Calypso, but Quiet. So you just gotta look for them, but they're around there.
Yeah, I think it's Stu. Yeah, I was about to say like he's never seen so many people in one place. Uh,
Right.
and yeah, I think that's like yeah, keeping them their their heads bagged, you know.
Ah,
This is a big shock. Oh yeah, like
yeah. And we got outsiders versus the insiders in the crowd too. I love the if you look at the stage, like the Calypso logo is even on kind of like a what do you call it? Like a railing on the stage there. I'm trying to see
mhm.
where the hell the banners are. I don't know if it's more closer to Calypso or is it more kind of around in the arena. Also, I keep looking at the crowd trying to see if I recognize any faces, from the cast and crew that I follow. I love like the way like Calypso's talking to trying to be like uh kind of like speaking from the heart or whatever. First I'm hearing about the wishes.
Yeah.
This bit is funny as hell, but it's like to me, I was just like I'm sure it's scripted, but it's just something that I hear like Will Arnett, like just
Hmm.
bullshitting with like Jason Bateman or something. Maybe that's why Calypso was using like the speaker in the short bus because he's used to it. Maybe he likes to hear his voices in the speakers or something.
Yeah, used to it booming.
I like this little old ass revolver that I don't even know it's a revolver, but it's some sort of pistol. Oh, behind them. Do you see the banners behind them? Right there. If you look like in the far back, they're more back there.
Is it all like kind of like all together?
They're spaced out a little.
Hmm.
They're just hanging. It's kind of like if oh no, never mind. I was gonna say like maybe it's the ones similar to the ones that we've seen at like San Diego Comic-Con or they keep showing in the background, but every time I see it, it's already cutting away from it. But they are driving towards it right now in that direction.
Okay, yeah,
See?
I
You see
saw.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you see the two flag poles, and then behind there are the character banners, which look really cool.
And we get the Jimmy Eat World, Bleed American. I
Uh,
love this song. I love this band. It felt a little out of place.
okay. Is there a story behind the song at all? Like any meaning?
Probably is. I
Oh, okay.
don't know.
Also, I know that this is a student driver vehicle, but the
Hmm.
fact that they're both steering, like,
Yeah.
does that, yeah, did that make you scratch your head? Did you like, well, that makes sense? Or I'm trying to figure out, like,
I mean,
because what if they literally want to go in the opposite direction? What happens?
yeah, like I know it's possible, like it's a real thing, but like I would think that yeah, any deviation from one another would just like fuck that car up.
Yeah, and this might even be that type of vehicle, but I do understand that there's a few different types of vehicles. One with like a pod on top of the actual vehicle, and then you got the stunt driver on top of the vehicle driving. And then they have ones where there's actually two steering wheels, and your stunt driver or whoever is in the driver's seat, and then the camera is on you. So you just got to kind of mirror,
Hmm.
yeah, kind of their motions or whatever, just to kind of get coverages. So that could be one of those vehicles, and they just decided, hey, why not? Mike and Stu, and they can both have a steering wheel. But I saw that I was just like, wait, who's actually steering? Like, wait, is this a joke? Like, I don't. It was too much going on at once. Also, here's another moment right here. Like Calypso just handed Mayhem some cheese on probably the most sharpest like cheese knife I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And and it doesn't get suspicious of her like looking at it. It's just like, but I don't know. Maybe he's got his mind on this tournament here. He's being seen, I guess.
Yeah. It's the culmination of everything.
Right. Because I thought he was even scarier like in episode like 6 when they get to the school and his eyes turn black or whatever but now this is he's showing his mortality a little bit like okay you have so some of your flaws it's not smooth but I don't know how did he end up being like the leader of New Chicago? How did he end up
Hmm.
there? A lot of questions. Oh, did you have any idea what they were doing here when they have the face-to-face roadkill?
Oh, no, 'cause, yeah, I'd forgotten the ramp. Uh, or oh, I forgot that this is what was happening. Yeah,
So I
death of Mike.
right so Quiet killed Mike is that what we saw?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, poor guys. They did not, yeah, didn't expect him to go that way. Um, oh, now I'm grieving. lost Dave, lost Mike. That was two of my Bromigos, the original Bromigos. Sue's the only one remaining. But also, like, I think Calypso's gonna mention right here where she's using like cheat codes or whatever.
Mhm.
If you didn't have anybody really like inspecting their vehicles, is it? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, like if we, had like a worst line, I think that the cheat codes thing would be mine. So I think
Yeah,
that is the most like looking at the camera and being like, remember, it's a video game. That's what this is
right.
based on. But
Yeah,
yeah, it just seems kind of weird, like uh you
cheat
know,
codes. Pathetic.
they had the EMP, and that seems
Right.
like, very similar and like I guess I don't know what the tech is behind this, but yeah. If she had it in the car, I don't know why she wouldn't be able to use it.
Okay, so we see that, yeah, Calypso had powers that he short-circuited something inside Raven's vehicle. So he's, the balance restored. So he's knocking
So
her down a peg, you know.
it's yeah, really putting his thumb on the scale, like more and more.
How are you feeling about Calypso at this moment from what we've been seeing so far? Minus what we're about to
Uh
see, like in the flashback.
yeah, so like I kind of like I agree like where he's he seems less at times like less powerful, but obviously we see, he has a lot of powers. But like we kind of built up this season where he's, this powerful leader, but he's also kind of like goofy and like
Uh-huh.
aloof, like at times. And now it just seems like things aren't going the way I want it, and so I'm just going to make it happen the way that I want it, and it
Right,
makes it so it's less like a uh less of a a fair tournament
right,
with like crazy rules and more just like, oh no, Calypso has an outcome that he is like specifically looking for, that he's engineering to have happen, which makes him more of a
right,
villain. It makes him actually like the bad guy and not just kind of this powerful tournament leader.
right. I do like the idea of that like he's bad, and that's
Mhm.
totally fine. But yeah, he's not as a like super villain, I guess, as I thought he would be right here. I thought this was really awesome too. Um for Raven to crawl out of the wreckage, and she's not getting her wish, but I think it's kind of a poetic death, really, for her to kind of see Kelly as the way she
Mhm.
remembered. Um, maybe this is something we talk about after the episode, but yeah, I was
I
just like,
was
oh,
I was honestly like expecting it to like because it starts like blurred before she kind of like comes into clarity. I was imagining her to like blur out again and that to be Sweet Tooth,
no.
like they're trying to like give her a hand or something.
Then it's like a fake hand, like a callback to like season one, where it's like,
Yeah,
I just found this one. Like you have to get your own.
pull my finger.
I do like that they didn't do that. Because then it'd take away from her death, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Raven chasing Grim, the dibs. This okay, this is what I kind of misremember. I thought that was going to be when John and Quiet were head to head earlier, that they were going to do that to Mike and Stu, but it was actually to Grim. I love this too, where he picks like the gas tank off of Grimm's
Hmm.
motorcycle, so he's gonna use that gas to light up his own head. Finds his machete, and I love those sweet tooth masks too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I like the outsiders have been watching them, this whole time, and so it's been they've been able to build up fandoms around the different character or different drivers.
I do love everyone in the crowd is going wild. They must have been like, "Hey, you guys really sell like how you guys are into this." But yeah, we've been seeing it kind of building up this tension between Sweet Tooth and Mr. Grimm all season. Um, and and I love that they sprinkled, this tension through the episodes just enough to kind of give us an idea. Like they didn't have to dedicate like a whole ass episode or a flashback. Like we
Hmm.
begin a little bit. We know that they both came from Blackfield Asylum, and yeah, that their hate just it goes back, and so they just needed a moment, mano a mano. Oh boy. Oh damn. Quiet's really enjoying herself. So and I would have I think that death would have been a little bit more satisfying for Mr. Grimm, from the point of Quiet if she said something like, that, hey, that's for Ashley and Jeremy, you
Mm.
fucker, like something like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad she drove off happy. Maybe there was something cut, I'm not sure. But I do remember, there was episode 5 when he pulls into that hangar. She's like, you know, that's the guy who killed, Ashley and Jeremy. So,
Yeah.
maybe maybe a little. I actually thought that at some point we would get the dolls again because I thought we'd get a send off or like a funeral for Dollface. So I was a little
Yeah.
surprised that didn't happen.
Gonna be right back. 30 seconds.
Yeah, yep. All right, so we just got a big old container dropped in the middle of the arena, and it is revealed to be Minion. I do like the stance of Minion when we first saw it. Like it was crouched down, almost like the Terminator, like arriving, because it was just dropped, right? And so like the momentum is gonna bring your weight down. So I think we would have called bullshit to see like Minion still standing up. Now I've been seeing some of the criticisms on social media. A lot of people have been saying like, Minion looks, like a Power Rangers villain, um and yeah, I can see that obviously because we know that there's a human being inside it, and maybe that's what we're going to. Tyler, what do you think of Minion's look? I just
Uh,
mentioned that
s-
the criticism I've been seeing online is just that it looks like a Power Ranger villain.
that I mean, yeah, that is kind of what my mind went to. What is that? Goldar. I
Yeah,
got a lot
yeah,
of Goldar vibes. Um, yeah, I mean, I wasn't super crazy about Minion's look.
yeah. It's like
Not that
Goldar.
it's off-putting.
No, Goldar Zed. And honestly, the suit itself, it kind of reminded me of a Dracula. Gary Oldman's
Hmm.
outfit. Do you know what I'm talking about? The
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
So that's what it reminded me of. And actually, if you guys like, I know it's really difficult to see, and also I commend them for like giving us an action sequence in the daytime. It would be easy to like mask Minion a little bit in the dark, but the movements is very unsettling, almost ghost-like, right? But
Yeah,
if you get a good image or a good close-up, and also maybe because of the shininess, it seems a little bit more of like a Power Rangers armor. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as shiny. I don't know. I don't know how you fix it, but I love the details. If you look at the horns and stuff, like there's all these like kind of like patterns or whatever. But it's the details up close that I think make the minion look even like crazier or more menacing.
yeah. I think you're right. Like you mentioned, like it being again a darker setting, it'd be a bit more like menacing. And yeah, like when it's just full full daylight, it's hard to make something too scary or menacing, when it's just like full sun shining down on it.
Right. Because you're seeing you I mean also like you see that it is Calypso Industries. Like there's a almost like a belt buckle, there's a logo down in that region. So I I I believe there was an interview released with I'm not sure which of the people from the show, um, but I think they did discuss this scene with Minion and stuff.
Think if a quick improvement, make it wetter. I think
Yeah,
if it was a bit more wet, kind of like maybe like bloody, or something like a little bit more like organic, I think you
that might have
could.
been the look. That might have been the look they were going for. Is like it's almost like blood on the outside, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be another color and that's the blood on the outside, or that's an actual color of the suit. Because it's a lot of good mix of that maroon and black. We got a
Mhm.
comment here in on Instagram saying Minion looked savage, and that twist wasn't expecting that, and we'll hold
Okay.
off on that twist as well. But yeah. I like the look. See, you see the horns? Like that looks,
Yeah.
it looks great. So, like on its own, I think Minion looks great, but I do kind of understand some of the criticism. But I'm trying to look at it like maybe we don't have like the that part that makes it look a little samurai in the front there, but maybe that's what they're also kind of going with, like a samurai look. I'm not sure, like a shredder, you know? But it's almost like Shredder, Zed, Goldar, like like I could kind of see what people are saying. Almost the Guyver. Are you familiar with the Guyver?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like a maroon version of that almost as well. It's like it's all the horns. But it's so
I
funny because I did a Q&A like a few weeks ago, and somebody's like, "Do you think we'll ever see Minion?" And I'm like, "Oh, this guy." I just pulled off like a Minion from the games, and I was like, "Oh, he looks cool." And then when this showed up, I go. I that's not the same minion I remember seeing, so
Yeah, I think
but
when Minion's standing here like in the center and just kind of like taking the fire and like shooting from there, I like that a lot more than kind of the jumping around like the kind of like ghostly like speed and everything.
right.
Uh yeah. Something that's just like, oh, it's so strong it can just take, all of the firepower that's coming
Ah,
at it.
I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you think that that was the end of Sweet Tooth earlier too during the beatdown?
Uh, I mean, I could see, I could see it happening. I think it'd be a bold choice. I feel like Sweet Tooth is just, the meta, talk like outside the show. I think Sweet Tooth is going to be a mainstay.
Right. He's like the Deadpool, right?
Hmm.
The mascot, I think you might have used that
Yeah.
term. I'm not sure, but yeah, you don't get there's a few untouchables. I feel John and Quiet, maybe because of who plays them, but I don't think they're completely untouchable. Like I feel maybe one of them or both of them die at the end at some point. But I think Sweet
I
Tooth is
mean,
untouchable.
I think you had mentioned, yeah, like, if one or both of them die and, Mayhem is kind of takes up the lead. I even at this point, I still could have seen that being like how the show progresses.
Right. So kind of wild that but hold on. Which side of Roadkill was Quiet on? Was she on the correct side, which would be the left side for us in the States? And if she's facing Mike, if she's facing Hammerhead, then is that right? Was she facing no, she would be facing Stu. No, Stu was
Uh,
on the driver's side, Mike was on the passenger side.
I don't know.
I yeah, yeah.
This is camera math. I can't follow.
Because yeah, I was like, wait, is that correct? Because was she facing Mike when she was shooting? Let's just say she was. Because that would be like a huge oversight. But he was like, where is everybody? It's almost like that Jack Burton from like Big Trouble in Little China. He regains consciousness and is like, ah, and then like, where is everybody? And he's the appointed winner.
Good. I mean, killer eyesight on Calypso there to be able to see the Mike's dead from all the way up there.
Is he napping or is he dead?
But yeah, so you would think like, oh, Calypso would just kind of know that like that Stu's still there, as a contestant, but oh man, Mayhem's throat cut there is brutal.
Yeah. Hey, that's her second body, right?
Yeah, getting much better at it.
Very. Okay. So, yeah, little interesting that, okay, Stu's happy that he won. He just told Mike, like, hey, we did it. But I feel like shouldn't he also be grieving a little bit? But how do you play
Yeah, I
that?
mean
I'm sure
the,
they might have even shot it differently in different ways.
the adrenaline of the moment, the roar of the crowd, and plus if he thinks he's getting his wish, uh,
That's true.
like it might be kind of overriding the feeling of loss.
Right. Maybe he's more happy. It's like, well, he had a I guess we can't really play the same sort of like grieving rules, like in real world. Like, well, that's not how somebody would really grieve. It's first off, it's a show based off of a video game. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna let that moment pass. But I guess in Stu's mind, in his headspace, he's thinking like, yeah, if I do win, then I'm just gonna get that wish, and me and Mike we're gonna be like somewhere safe or whatever it was.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll stop that there for this episode 11. Let's recap. Tyler, immediate thoughts after this episode.
Oh, I mean the man, yeah, the culmination of this tournament, finally seeing how everything plays out, is very satisfying. And
Yeah,
the people that ended up actually dying, actually being meaningful, not definitely not who I expected it to be.
right. Um, let's see here. Well, I guess just my kind of thoughts after the episode here. I loved the whole arena and the final round there. It felt like because of the blocking of some of the characters, specifically like Mayhem and Calypso, it did give me like the feel of like a Game of Thrones or like a Gladiator. Having somebody on like our side sitting with like the villain up on the big stage and stuff like that. We still haven't quite yet been revealed exactly what was going on, but also to see that explosion in the crowd as well, we're like, Damn, what the hell is that about?" But yeah, we lost a couple characters, Grim, and Mike, and I guess we'll get to our games here pretty soon. Um, but yeah, I was a little, I guess after seeing like how Axel exited, how Raven exited, and to see Mike just kind of shot up and that was over for him. And Grim also, I thought that was a really, we got a nice fight between him and the Sweet Tooth, but then also um, and then the death, included, including Quiet. I'm trying to get all the names correct, in order here, but Quiet, yeah, when she, runs over. Grimm, and I think John does too. There, like the
Hmm.
moment I mentioned, like if she could have just said something like, "Oh, this is for Ashley and Jeremy," I think I would have liked it that much more. Because like for a hot second, I did wonder, with Quiet's expression, I was like, "Well, what the hell did Grimm ever do to you?" So it made me think of that for like I was just like, "Oh no, that's right. Like he did kill Jeremy and Ashley." So with how the episodes dropped. I think sometimes we kind of forget the stuff that happened so early on as well,
Hmm.
and some of those previous characters too. So, um, okay, so let's start off with the Marcus, test your line. What was your best line of the episode?
The Sweet Tooth. Uh, does nobody care about dibs, or does nobody honor dibs?
Yeah. I have the same line. As does div not mean anything to you people?
Yeah.
So, okay, so I guess he was calling dibs on Mr. Grimm fair because I feel like he has been right all season, in some
Hmm.
way or another. But also the fact that the way he says it does div not mean anything to you people, as if he's the only one that has been playing by the rules.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that line. Who was your best character of the episode?
Uh, I'm gonna go with Mike. The last, as far as we know, the last time that we'll be seeing Mike. But reconciling with Stu, and both of them, forgiving each other for past hardships and heartache. It was so nice seeing them, driving around together again.
Yeah, I will give it to him as well for a lot of the same reasons. I also like the moment where they're kind of, at least Mike is, kind of grieving for the loss of Dave, and then we get that comedic moment of Stu just tossing like his effects out the window, not giving a shit. So, best costume
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you called it out last time, but I'm gonna go, yeah, with Calypso. Uh, just there on his podium, his big final moments for the tournament.
for me, I'm gonna go with the audience members with the sweet tooth masks. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I love how it's a makeshift mask. It's not like the stuff we see at the Halloween store or the replicas. It's legit as if like this is all that they have at the house, and they're such fans of Sweet Tooth that they're making it this way. They don't have like the know-how to make it look legit. So I love the I was about to say authenticity, but that's not the word I was looking for. But I love how it's just so primal, like bare
Hmm.
bones, and it's just like, the hair and the yeah, so I love that. Best death.
Also, Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
For me
yeah.
it's gonna be Grim for the way it was like ping pong and bouncing off, and so I'll go with him. Um or maybe I mean I don't know, Ravens yeah, I wouldn't call her the best death, but I like the way her death scene was, with like the inclusion of young Kelly.
It's definitely
Was
the most like emotionally, like built up. Like, yeah.
Yeah, were you okay with how her exit is? Given everything that we kind of been saying, how like, she was supposed to be like the ruler of the big city on the West Coast, and ever since she became a driver, she's done everything herself. Prom, she didn't have her dance, and do you feel there was like stuff cut out for Raven, or I'm
Oh, I
trying
could
to gauge like.
definitely, yeah, I could definitely see, yeah, there being more there that they just didn't have enough time for. I mean, she got a lot of coverage, throughout the season. But I think you would have to like give her a whole other episode, to kind of flesh a lot of that stuff out. So it's not, I don't, it's not necessary. I don't feel like she got like the short end of the stick. She did get a lot of backstory and everything, but
It
no,
did,
I
yeah.
think it wrapped up nicely. What's gonna happen to Kelly now? In that ambulance.
Right. There's Kelly. But there was stuff that I felt we were. working towards with some of that setup between I don't want to call it a setup, but the kind of like the early stuff with her and Calypso in episode like
Mhm.
6, and then I think 7 actually, 6 and 7. But anytime with her and Calypso, I just felt like we were gonna kind of work towards like getting a little bit more of their backstory. So I'm still kind of like trying to figure out like how far did they go back? Did she come to him like after the accident with Kelly? And is does she owe him any favors? Did he help her out in any way? Because it's like because he keeps threatening her with like you know what I'm capable of, and kind of all these talking. So I just thought there was going to be a little bit more, but maybe we got it in kind of her send off. I'm not sure. So yeah, I felt like we had more Raven up until kind of like these. Well, I think you're right. Maybe because there's just so much going on. I think we did get a fair share of Raven. And maybe it's just because it wasn't what I was really expecting, and so I was just like, oh wait, is this it? So yeah, I just felt it just felt a little incomplete for me in terms of her character like story and stuff like that. Was not on my Twisted Metal bingo card. What was something you didn't expect in this episode?
Uh, Calypso, we don't really get it all fleshed out until the next episode, but Calypso's false flag attack. Uh, Whoever the Alex Jones is of this world is going nuts right now.
Yeah. For me, it was Minion. Did not expect to see Minion. Uh, and more thoughts on that character in the next episode. Because a reveal. Pop culture reference. Did you pick up on anything?
I didn't. No, nothing comes to mind.
Picked up one. It was a dialogue from Raven where she was talking to John, and basically the lyrics to Nookie threw it all away for the Nookie. Uh, and best use of a swear word. I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have one
Okay,
either.
not one that stands out anyway. Okay, all right. So now we will go to episode 12. This is called New Year's. Peacock has it described as amid unexpected twists and turns, life and death choices are made as only one can emerge victorious. This was directed by Bill Benz and written by showrunner Michael Jonathan Smith. Okay, so let's cue that up. And 00. Tyler, you all ready?
Ready.
All right, and crap. Okay, on go. I'm gonna count down from 3, 2, 1, go. I might have to step away for a few seconds here too.
Right.
Okay, I can't yet. Okay, we're gonna open up with a flashback. It almost looked like The Ring for a hot second.
Yes.
We got Calypso climbing out of a well, and I was trying to figure out was that Anthony Carrigan or was that like somebody younger that played? I couldn't really tell.
Uh yeah, I thought it was Anthony Carrigan, just, very dirty.
Okay, so I like this the black and white. It looks really old timey based off their clothing, almost like pilgrims, ish.
Hmm.
I don't remember when the Roanoke colony disappeared or whatever, but it was somewhere thereabouts, right? 1700, something like that. Maybe
Think
even
so.
before.
But yeah, like so yeah, we see him, like coming out of the well and everything. That just, like screams to me like, yeah, like an eternal, God or spirit, or, like something like something older than Earth.
Like 7 centuries, instead of like 7 days, like in the ring.
Hmm.
Um, I like how he's got a little ponytail, a little. I'm not saying it's a nod to Terry Silver, Cobra Kai, who's
I
again
can see
where
it.
MJ's from, yeah. But there is something in this episode. Oh, it's a needle drop. I'll remember it. So yeah, a little pitch meeting here, and he is trying to introduce a reality series, Twisted Metal. I love seeing like the old school graphics and stuff. This Death by PowerPoint.
Yeah, and the I like the celebrities. Oh, you got Carson Daly? Well, no, it's just an example.
Shout out to Carson Daly. I just saw him as a talking head on that new Stan documentary. It's pretty good. I
No.
only knew about it because Devin Sawa shared it because he shows up in a little cameo as Stan, as he did in Twist the Middle as Harold. But it's basically about the not phenomena, but like the fandom of like the Eminem, who's also on in there, and talking
Mhm.
about how Stan and they have a bunch of Stans that have been fans since like '98, early 2000, even like 2010, a variety of fans talking about like that term in Eminem. And so it was really, really good if you guys want to check something out. I do like the little talks about like they'll drop to friends, like getting like America's eyes on this or whatever.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask while this is all going on. Um,
Hmm.
Calypso caused the fall, right? Is that what we're getting because of this?
Also, I took it more as just because he's kind of eternal. Like he just waited. Like he was just waited for uh the world to fall.
Okay,
I didn't pick it up as him causing it. Just that he
okay.
has all the time in the world to wait for the perfect time.
So are you saying that he knows it's coming? Because it hasn't happened yet, right? It has.
No, yeah, like I feel like this is something that like this I took it as like this pitch meeting is not
Yeah.
like the first time he's like tried to pitch this, or this isn't the first time he's had this idea, but he's just he has the ability to wait as long as it takes, and so he's just waiting for this perfect moment.
Okay. See, because the world isn't ready, then what? See, so that's the part where it made me wonder, like, wait, did he create it? Because because of that smug look, like we'll just wait
Hmm.
un- until the world is ready or whatever he just said. So we come back to at some point, Mayhem jumped into Sweet Tooth's vehicle and she
Hmm.
drove out to Quiet, who was with John and trying to resuscitate him. Did you think we lost John at this moment still?
Uh, I mean, I figured that they were gonna bring him back somehow, not
Right,
necessarily how. But yeah, I considered him pretty much as dead as he could be.
right. Defibrillator. So, yep, they're hooking him up to the vehicle. Only if they, had imagined like John Doe with like nipple rings, like in season one, she could have been hooking him up to that now, and that would have paid off.
That is what I when she grabbed the jumper cables, I was like, oh, they're going to reveal his piercings.
Oh my God. Oh, I really liked how like it was not cheesy. It's just that was literally probably the last moment on his mind before he died. Just like, did we win? And so, yeah, I really like that. Oh, mysterious people here, hooking Sweet
Hmm.
Tooth up, and I just love how they're just gonna drag him, uh,
Yeah,
to where they're going.
he's
He's
not
gonna need
going to
a new
have
back.
a back. Yeah.
But I guess that was the other thing too. Like I thought that if you don't win, you are dying. So the fact that
Hmm.
Mayhem's still alive, Stu, so that was a surprising thing to me, and that might actually just go up on here before. just in case I don't have anything else. Oh, I love this line from Mayhem. I love this the score right here. I'm not sure what it is. No, now the real game begins, he says. A real whopper. I do like Mitch's delivery of I want my wish. So here we go. See? Sweet Tooth pissing into the well before their wish and before everyone else has so they did make a wish, right? Sweet Tooth went in there, took a leak, saw another door, and just decided he was gonna leave, right? Because he doesn't know about the wish. This is all new to me.
Yeah.
That's because he walked out and here's Mitch making, or I'm sorry, Stu making the wish for them. I so I didn't know it was gonna be space, but I figured that Mike would still be dead.
Yeah. So yeah, once same like didn't know he's going to be on the space station or whatever it is. But yeah, knew that Mike was going to be dead there with him.
But also, why are we changing Stu's wardrobe, do you think?
Yeah, because yeah, Mike doesn't get a spacesuit.
Yeah, no, he does. But he's dead. Maybe this
Yeah.
is to keep him warm or whatever.
And so I wonder, was the Calypso Industries space shuttle, was that already up there? Or was this like, created like to put Stu up there?
It was probably just manifested by Calypso. I don't know. It's
Though
that's
though if it I guess if it was already up there, if Calypso was already like his company, is like a SpaceX or something, maybe he did, yeah, cause the fall, maybe he is the reason all the other satellites like started crashing and shit like that.
right. See, that'd be a good question for MJ. Got another comment in the chat here. I am Calypso, and I thank you for you're playing Twisted Metal. So there you go.
Oh, wow. Big names in the chat.
Yeah. They are arriving to the cabin, and see, in a sense, Mayhem, who lost, is kind of getting her wish. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, I mean, definitely, this is what she wanted. But things told locked.
Yeah. So Mayhem broke the window instead. Yeah, I know it's a funny bit, but I don't know if I would have done that. If I was Mayhem, like breaking the window, I would have
Yeah,
suggested it. You know,
Windows seems like a valuable thing to have.
but also like I feel like it would have led to like in another show, it would have led to you know, after the window breaking, it's like, oh, the door just needed, a much harder nudge and it opened
Hmm.
up that easily. I just love how she thinks the bean is it beanbag?
Oh, the chair?
Was it just regular chair?
I think it is like
Oh, okay.
recliner.
Okay, a recliner. She called it a bed.
Yeah.
Oh, so he doesn't know what solar power is.
Yeah. Solar.
It's for the future.
Yes.
Love Nutella.
Well-stocked pantry. None of that stuff covered in dust.
And I feel like we talked about spam, right? Because what was something somebody ate? Oh, it was in season one. The sausages, Vienna sausages.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I would do spam, but not Vienna sausages. So here we are. We got the spam.
Yeah, when seeing, everything kind of like in such good condition, like I was expecting just, someone else to be like
Living
living
there,
here still.
right? Couple of movies, Muppets in Space, and what was the other one? I missed it.
I looked the first time I watched it, but I didn't notice this
Yeah, I
time.
forgot too. Yeah, he had two movie ticket stubs. It's got the DMX poster from the first album when Dark as Hell. Wait, oh damn it, it just showed it. I
Uh,
forgot what it was already. Dark
Reading
as Hell and
Babysitter's
Hell is
Club
Not, or
and having a DMX poster is such a unique like a memory for me of like, oh, this extremely childish thing, and then something that you probably shouldn't be consuming at that age. Remember watching SpongeBob and listening to DMX.
I definitely had that album. I had all the DMX albums actually. Well, up until like maybe the fourth or fifth. That might have been the last time I bought one of those. But yeah, their rooms in this cabin is looks just as nice as the house that they had in New San Francisco. I'm trying to see what else is there. And I know it's been like 20 some odd years, but those sheets still look in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
Mayhem could have that chair. He's got that bed. Look at that.
So yeah, just push those two together.
Yeah. Solar energy. That was good. We just I know this was gonna be some of that dead air while John and Clyde are talking, laying in bed here. Really
Yeah,
sweet moment.
finding a place that has the solar energy is just like you're if you can make it work, you're set up in this world.
Yeah. So Mayhem had just taken a shower, turned on the radio, and is dancing to Cranberries' Dreams, um, which she apparently knows. But also, MJ wrote episode 304 of Cobra Kai, I think, titled The Right Path. Oh gosh, I'm really pulling this all out of my ass. But anyway, there's a reference to Kumiko having gone to the Cranberries concert, and I think she got to see them perform Dreams or something. It's been so long since I've seen that episode, but I love how he's penned both episodes, and there's a reference to that song.
I love Mayhem and John showing a look of acknowledgement for like, oh, baseball gloves, and then they both are just using them as head protection.
That's how you play baseball, right? So Mayhem, doing the whole thing. They're walking in on mom and dad doing the damn thing. But also, she walks in having found a bear claw, I guess. Bear Trap.
Yeah, Bear Trap.
I wonder what she was gonna call it. Like, hey, I found she didn't get to finish. I do love how they have real pictures of Tiana Okoye, as a young Krista. So, oh, I completely missed it because we were talking, which also nice moment here, John Quiet. We're trying to teach Mayhem how to read, but in the flashback with Calypso, he gets called Mr. Sparks, right? And
Mhm.
so people know that Krista Sparks is Calypso's daughter in the video games. So this makes sense for the reveal that's coming up, Krista Sparks,
Mhm.
Calypso. Sorry, like I just love this bit too. This
Yeah.
they're fishing and how John is literally trying to be like, look, you guys are, and so it just shoots like all three of them or cuts to all three of them shooting.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Um,
Yeah, and then the mayhem here pulling out bullets from the food while they're eating it.
did that remind you of anything?
I mean, I've definitely seen that before, but nothing specific.
The one that it reminds me of is Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh yeah.
When with the rabbits, where Marty's eating with his great great grandfather, I think it was, Seamus. I kind of forget, but at least I know maybe the great great grandfather was William the baby. But anyway, but it's that scene where he comes home, says, Maggie, I got supper, and then Marty spits out a few rounds. This is almost kind of mirrors season one a little bit too, kind of like the quote unquote kind of happy ending, leading
Mhm.
into what's about to uh well, leading to its season finale.
Princess Bride. I see there.
With the spitting out like rounds or something after eating something.
Oh no, the one of the VHS tapes
Oh, I
by the
gotcha.
TV.
Platoon. Yeah, Platoon's one, 1986, I think. Cleo, is that Cleopatra on the
Cleopatra.
left side of the TV?
Yeah. Yeah, Cleopatra and Color
Is that
Purple.
Spinal Tap? Oh, color. Okay. I was trying. Oh, the color purple is on top. I was trying to look on the left side. It's funny because I'm trying to play by memory. Like working at Blockbuster, looking at the cover boxes,
Hmm.
and I feel like it looks like this. What is
Crimson
that? Oh, is that?
Tide.
Okay, that's the Princess Bride. There, that one's tilted. Okay, I didn't look it up, but is she somebody that we recognize? This actress?
Uh yeah, I did not recognize her.
Okay, all right. So okay, so the UTI, great acronym there. They are sending who are they sending out here? People to go capture John Quiet and Mayhem, the three that's
Y-
these
Yeah,
terrorists.
yeah, I mean it's pretty much just like all like insiders, kind of like free for all.
And does that look like eyeballs on her necklace, right? So is she from the OC?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I feel like there was something else. Yeah, there was like
Uh,
the necklace that made me
about
think
her
that.
wardrobe? Oh, is that Robin Hood underneath Platoon?
Oh, I
It's really
missed
hard
it.
to see. All right, so Minion shows up at the cabin. What do you think about the eyes on the mask? The white eyes.
I
Do you
mean
think they
that
should have
that
been another
kind of
color,
it
another
just kind of
look?
screams more, yeah, like the Power Rangers
Yeah,
kind of mask.
because you can't really because I know that there's at least a couple different looks that I'm privy to of Minion. There's the one where it's like a hooded mask that's revealing some of the face, right? And then there's one that's more demonic, which is I think this one that they're going with.
Hmm.
And so you can't really do the other thing because then you're revealing you know who's inside that suit. See, so
And so,
now, yeah, go ahead.
oh, and so yeah, and so yeah, John kind of did get his wish, in the very Calypso way.
That's true. Yeah. He got his sister back. But the walls didn't come down, or maybe it's just twisted way of like, well, the walls came down in a the way where like people were coming out to come get you guys,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, because
also
that the one lady says, like there's not going to be a need for any walls.
ah,
Uh,
and here's that the whistle's second payoff. The first time it happened, so she mentions it in episode 3. That was test drive, and then oh no, I think it was Dollface. I think the whistle was brought up in episode 2, Dollface. Episode 3, you get the payoff when he does it with Dr. Zimu, and then it comes back again in this episode here. So yeah, the if you know, I think calling Calypso Mr. Sparks in that flashback, is a hey, if you guys are privy to the storylines in the games, like this might lead to something. So,
mhm,
Minion is the creation of Calypso, so that makes sense. Krista Sparks is like his daughter in a sense.
mhm.
So Stu did not like the black headband, so he made himself a red one himself. Um, Also, I do believe it. I mean, if he can figure out how to maneuver, he was somewhere safe, but it doesn't mean that space shuttle was like inoperable, right? He
Yeah.
would, I'm sure he could figure out how to crash back into town.
You're just like, oh,
Yeah,
come on, John. It's
I know.
it's not your sister anymore.
Yeah, I guess I mean we're getting it in with the eyes, but I did wonder if like, if we would see a soul leaving Minion or something because it's almost kind of like what did Calypso do if John was still able to get a little bit out, a little Krista actually out of Minion? You get what I'm trying to
Hmm.
ask? Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's not completely gone, and Calypso put her in a suit, but to what extent? And how is he, if he is controlling her? Well, he'd have to be controlling her. Because how did she just end up there?
Yeah.
And is he driving Sweet Tooth? Okay, what's that lever up there on the dash on the console? It could just
Oh,
be there the shift.
yeah.
That cat is actually a horse. So that was one of my
Yeah, like
predictions
the
that go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I didn't get my prediction where I thought we would see Krista on a horse
Mm.
because of
Yeah,
all the
I like
horses that
that
she drew.
it's Stu saying uh you wouldn't shut up about the cabin. Everyone knew about the cabin.
Oh, right, yeah. And it makes sense too. But also, yeah, I'm just trying to look at Stu's costume and see like where he might have gotten some of this stuff. Some of it does look like tires, maybe like a bicycle tires that he kind of like cut in half to kind of spread out as armor a little bit. But I do love how they made him look like he actually has been working out too. I do love Stu's outfit. It's almost superhero-esque.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, he
I
looks
gotta
like
make
one
a
of
run
those
real quick.
local superheroes, like a what was
All
that
right.
guy's name? Phoenix something who would like protect Seattle at night.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a few of those around the country. I'll be right back.
All right. See, I feel like the this this setting up of the characters going to go kill Calypso. Uh, we get back to the kind of season one setup of crossing the country, probably going and hitting different cities, working their way towards Calypso. Pan out and them all standing in an intersection. That's season two. Oh, I actually didn't see this mid-credit scene.
Are you already there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, there's a couple of them. Hold on. Okay, he's being dragged. You haven't seen this part where he's being dragged?
No. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
okay.
new.
So right now is it just cut to Sweet Tooth just stopped the cab. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
Okay. Because I feel like yours started before mine did. Because you just said, "Oh, I didn't know this."
Oh, yeah, at one point I had to go back and forth, so it was probably a few seconds off.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have texted you. I think there's two, and I only saw the first one, so I keep forgetting to go back and watching the second one. I think it so here we got Charlie Kane, his dad apparently found him during the tournament and sent these guys to come and fetch him for him. So let it keep playing because I believe there's one
Okay.
more. If I remember, was it Radek? Yeah, might have said something on X. Kind of forget. But it's almost over. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, here we
seeing it.
go. Yep, here we go. Is this Zimu? What is this? So we're back to the Axel place. Okay, this is you guys. We're both watching this for the first time too. So somebody is back in Zimu's office. Oh, is is that is that the vermin? Is that vermin's wish? Because like you heard that little sound, right? It's supposed to be like the sound of a gerbil
Hmm.
or something. And if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, let me pull up the episode, but I believe in episode three, I think it actually shows that cage with with like a gerbil or something that had been experimented on uh
Okay.
before
Is
Axel
there
was designed.
is
Go
there a
ahead.
canonical Twisted Metal gerbil character?
I I don't know. I right? Like anything we say is just a guess, and they can do anything that they want. But I do wonder it just ties into Vermin's wish, right? Because I just mentioned how we didn't really Vermin when she died, it wasn't really um she didn't go in the way she kind of wished, and she wished for like
Yeah.
something else to take over. So I do wonder if there was a another animal of sorts, a character. So here's another thing. Since this episode is over, while I'm trying to find this uh cage.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I just found it.
I
Yeah,
I
it's
also thought that Stu could possibly become Minion or something, but it was just
oh
it
yeah.
was just yeah, just a thought I had if that was the case. Would you find?
Uh Yeah, so Krista looks into that glass cage and there's it doesn't look alive, but there is like a gerbil or something, some type of rodent that has it's where Axel would be on like a smaller version. So it's pretty much like a little Axel model, but it's a rodent there.
Right. So it's yeah, so I don't know. Don't know what that means. Now I'm in not in the right headspace to finish up this episode with that ending because now I'm just like, wait, what? And so 'cause I saw the first one. It was one of those things like I was just reading the credits because I love doing that. And then I saw the thing. I'm like, oh, cool, end credit. Okay, of course, because I totally missed the season one. And then I think Radix shared that there was two, and I just kept on forgetting to go back and watching that second stinger. So okay, so how'd you feel about that finale?
See, I would say that it's a little uneven for me, just the first half being, them settling at the cabin and stuff, just because I knew it's not going to last, so it's a little bit of like okay, like how is this going to get disrupted? How are they going to be, brought back into like some kind of fight? So, the first half I'm kind of just like waiting for when the script's going to flip and we're going to get to what is actually, going to be the way going forward. But I do like all the interactions of them at the cabin and like having, the montages of them trying to teach Mayhem to read and with John learning how to fish more efficiently with guns and stuff. Like none of that stuff is things I didn't like. But almost like if there was another episode, like if there was an episode of them just at the cabin, that then gets disrupted right at the very end or something, I would probably like it a little bit more. But overall, I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Me too, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you're basically saying a lot of the things that I'm also kind of like processing as well. Um, I think maybe like in the writer's room early on, they decided, there's going to be a cabin and that's going to happen at the end. Um, I like how you say it feels a little uneven. What I would like to add is that I'm very excited on the stuff that they're building up into what, is going to come in a possible season three, because at this time it has not yet been announced. But I feel with everything that just happened in episode 11 and also the beginning of 12, stopping by the cabin felt a little stagnant, but I don't know where else do you put that. And that's kind of what to what you were saying about having like another episode because I loved all that stuff at the cabin. But as a finale, and also hindsight, knowing what's about to happen, it feels a little kind of like, oh man, we just need to get there. But you also don't want to kind of shortchange like the time at the cabin too. So
Yeah.
I don't know what else you do, but seeing the stuff about the dad, because when we reviewed Nut House, we kind of questioned like, wait a minute, so he was with his dad and his dad got arrested if I remember correctly, and then he ended up going to live with his mom and his stepdad, and we questioned, we're like, where's his dad? Is he alive? So we
Mhm.
talked about that, and I love that when we saw him being dragged, and if you kind of remembered some of those details from season one, you're like, oh shit, the dad is alive. And apparently he's like the Pope or something. He governs like his own area. So how far is it? I don't know. You guys just you drag Sweet Tooth all like across whatever it was to take him home. Um, so that's going to be interesting. And like immediately, I'm already kind of thinking of like Ricky Bobby and his dad, like, oh, I saw you in Attorney, and that's the only reason I'm back. So all the daddy issues that's going to happen with Sweet Tooth in a possible
Mhm.
season three. So I like a lot of that setup. I love where we end basically with John Mayhem and Quiet up until Minion coming again. So yeah, Uneven, I think is a good word because I thought it was still a very good episode, but I don't know. Do you make it longer? Do you make that episode longer? Would that have changed anything? Because they've been doing really good with keeping close to that runtime of 30 minutes. You know, episode 11 was I think the longest one. This one is 32 minutes, and that's including, gosh, even that second stinger. Um yeah, so I don't know. Uh where what do you think about Minion? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but where we saw last Krista looking at them, um, because it looked like Minion had a directive, and it was supposed to go after John Quiet and Mayhem. Minion gets to the cabin, attempts to kill them, but John is able to kind of shake her out of this trance, so to speak,
Hmm.
with that whistle. So are we to understand that there's still a little of humanity left in Krista, like she's still in there? And so a lot of questions. But yeah, where do you how do you feel with where we last saw Minion and Krista?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely like there's a sense of recognition there, and so like in season three, I'm sure it will be the uh like the reclamation of like Krista, there will likely be an antagonist that, John will find a way to break her out of that or something, or give her an actual like a peaceful end, so she's not just like an automaton fighting them.
I would kind of prefer that, they giving her the peaceful end. Instead of spending like a couple episodes like trying to whistle the entire time, just like it worked the first time. Like
Yeah.
it's gotta he's whistling. Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see. So all right, let's get to our games. Marcus, that's your line. What was your best line of the episode?
Mayhem looking at the map, and finally a map I can read.
Verbatim. That's what I got. Finally, a map I can read. What about your best character?
Stu. Stu,
Same.
bulking up, slimming down, working on those muscles, and learning how to pilot a ship into the Great Lakes.
I
Yeah,
yeah. Stu's gonna get a lot of ones on here. Let's just also throw in best costume. And I'll start
Stu.
with me. It's gonna be Stu. And I love what the first off, like the costume for season two has been amazing, and I love how John specifically, it's like, oh, it's basically the same thing from season one, but it's a different vest. It's a vest, but it's a different vest and it's a different color shirt. It's literally just like any video game, Mortal Kombat, Twisted Metal. You pick the same character as your opponent, and they're gonna have something with them that's a different color. A black headband for Stu versus a red one. And so I love that. Yeah, Stu had like a whole ass other look in this one. But yeah, best character for, I love I mentioned his delivery of, you know, um, give me my damn wish or however he said it to Calypso, very matter of factly and just very straightforward with it. Um, I kind of want to see him coming back to Earth and how that happened. You know, excuse me, I would watch a bonus webisode of just like the Stew adventures trying to
Hmm.
find Calypso, not Calypso, Quiet, John, and Mayhem, but also never like okay, John always talked about the cabin, so like he knew to go to the cabin, but I want to know how long it's been. We do get the sense it's been a while for sure. I mean, you can tell based off like the stuff that um look how Stu is dressed, and they gave us the passage of time, but I do wonder how long it's been. I love the setup. Best death for you?
Uh, who died? Did
Rain
anybody
was the
die?
last one. I don't
I mean, in this
maybe not.
episode,
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't even think we had a death
the
on this
fish,
one.
all the fish.
The three, yeah, three of them, at least three, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I
um,
imagine they're going back and picking up more fish that are just floating on the lake there.
you know what's funny? Like, I don't. this almost reminds me of that line of Agent Stone, where he's talking about like shooting barrels in a fish. So they're like shooting fish on a pond, it seems
Hmm.
to be just as easy, I guess. Uh okay, was not on my Twisted Metal bingo card. So what's something you didn't expect in this episode?
Oh, I mean, yeah, back to Stu. Stu getting transported into some kind of shuttle space station thing, and then escaping by crashing it back onto Earth.
Yes, doing space, right? That's definitely didn't expect to see that. We knew a twisted version of whatever wish was going to happen, but it was a matter of who. So I guess also like Stu winning, was like not on my bingo card. Didn't expect that to happen. Also didn't expect him to die. Um, and so yeah, it's all just like okay, there's going to definitely be some untouchables for sure. At least for now. Um, Pop culture reference. Did you pick anything up there? We named off like
Uh,
several movies, so I
I
mean
was
we
gonna
can
say,
start that.
yeah. I mean, I love any any scene where there's just a bunch of VHS tapes or something to,
Yeah.
well, I don't know, like if you ever watched like Seinfeld,
Mm.
you could always like see Jerry's like VHS collection, and the dude had like three copies of Child's Play for some reason. So I always love looking at the background stuff for those.
Oh yeah, I love it. Those are little Easter eggs, and they're probably like Sony properties, I'd imagine, or something. I do want to go back and get a listing of those and try to find any other connections. Um, I guess another one is actually a line Stu said. It's a version of the Terminators come with me if you want to live. I think he says come with me if you want to survive.
Come with me if you don't want to die.
Okay, so also kind of funny because I saw a comparison of Stu and Stingray from Cobra Kai, and in like I think the season 5 finale, uh Stingray shows up in Johnny's the Challenger, and he says, "Come with me if you want to live." So he recites the Terminator line, and Stu gets a variation of that. So again, I'm finding like some of the connections to Cobra Kai. And also the Cranberries Dreams, like I mentioned, previously mentioned in a episode of MJ's that he wrote on Cobra Kai. Best use of a swear word. That's
Uh,
uh,
oh, it's a Stu very sternly, just give me my fucking wish.
Okay. Okay. I'll go with that too. That's the one that I think I'm the weakest at, just picking up because they're flying so fast and there's so many of them. But I guess I gotta just pay more intently to that. Okay, you guys, that's gonna be our commentaries for episodes 10 through 12 of season 2. We have some more interviews coming from some of the cast members. Reached out to some of the below the line, behind the line, below the line. What's the expression for the people that the below? I think it's below the
I
line.
think, but below the line is definitely a
Yeah,
term for credits.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's the other people, right? The behind the camera type stuff. So yeah, I reached out to several people, and interviews are definitely coming on the way. And now that we have finished up our commentaries, we will go back and do individual episode breakdowns. I think weekly might be a little ambitious, especially if we're trying to sprinkle interviews in between. But I kind of like our, cannot commit to like a day of the week. It's just whenever we can get to it and when our schedules line up. So keep an lookout for those. Thank you for those that tune into these, whether you listen to it, on the podcast app or watching it along with us at home. We appreciate you guys doing that. And Tyler, where can people find you on social media if that's a thing that they want to follow you on?
On the Hell site, you can find me at 300 PTS. Same thing for YouTube and Instagram, and over on Blue Sky, it's rorik.bluesky.com, however those links work. I've got a TikTok. You can find it if you want to. There's nothing but my cat on there. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Grinder. There's probably someone with my name on Grinder. Go look them up.
There you go. For me, you can find me at Twisted Metal Pod on Instagram and X. or Twitter if you're still calling it that. So yep, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until yeah, until the next episode, keep it twisted.